Hello, this is RunningRobert, and today we're going to be talking about the Vanda Pharmaceuticals VNDA, the CRL that everyone saw coming. Today is the 23rd of September, 2024, and in the summary, we're going to be looking at the bullish and the bearish parts of the company. We're going to be discussing the CRL and just kind of digging into it a little bit. So I generally follow small cap pharma. I do some games. I do a little bit of everything. So if you like what I'm doing, hey, please like and subscribe. It helps out a lot, and thank you. Disclaimer is I do not own shares at the moment. I did own shares earlier this year, but I sold before my last video on the 2nd of August. I'm an amateur investor, and any advice given should be followed up by our own due diligence, and information given is valid for today, the 23rd of September, and the slideshow will not be updated. But again, new news, new slideshow. So, what happened? The company received a CRL on the 19th of September. I had previously called this in my video on the 2nd of August based on the information they had given us and their contact with the FDA. The FDA did suggest the company conduct additional studies for it, and the company did not hold the FDA and the company did not hold an AdCom, even though it was requested. So a lot of stuff to go in there. But like, okay, they got it. What's next? So the company could challenge the FDA, much like ARDX did, and force an AdCom, which went great for ARDX. However, looking down at this data, you can kind of see the placebo versus the drug, and you can see that the numbers aren't really that great. So you have not a lot of improvement across the board, and I think that's what the FDA looked at, and they said, I don't see it. It's definitely not statistically significant, and so maybe there is a light effect, but nothing major. So one thing that they could do is also conduct extra studies. So this is definitely not the route they want to go, but they could, just to see if they can get a better score, better phase 3 data, and then be able to go back to the FDA. Of course, the data is just not there. You can see it fairly plainly. You're looking for stuff that has less than a 5% chance to hit, and these small changes aren't enough. But where does the company go from here? So overall, the company's still in fine shape. Even though they got CRL, you didn't see a huge drop because I think, one, it was expected. Two, the company still is fine. The net loss was $4.5 million for last quarter, but they had $387 million in cash. Ponvory has a chance to upend losses from their generic. Of course, looking at those two together, one had 18 million sales, Ponvory had 8.6. So again, even if you lose all the generic and you don't grow at all, you still have, I think, 15 quarters of cash, something ridiculous. Fanapt will most likely remain steady. And of course, the drug will still see an approval for the motion sickness in 2025. If you look at bottom right, you can see the placebo is at 33%, the drug was at 13.3%. That definitely called the p-value super incredible. So this was a successful trial. So what are we looking at going forward? I know I've said a lot of stuff, good and bad. So what am I going to be looking to judge this stock on? So one, growth in Ponvory. It has to be greater than the loss. That's number one. So you need, you want to keep as small a net loss for as long as possible. The two NDAs being submitted in quarter 4 and quarter 1. And then surprising sales from those drugs entering the crowded markets. Now, unfortunately, motion sickness, bipolar, and schizophrenia are very crowded drugs. It's not something that they're going into with only 1 or 2 competitors. There's 10, 15, 20 competitors in there. So it's going to be very hard for them to probably get a good base of it. They still might. I'm sure they are looking at the same thing that I am looking at and saying, hey, how do we get into this market successfully with everything going on here? So if we see surprising sales from these drugs, that's definitely going to help the case. Of course, good results from the early stage pipeline, which I did not really go over. There is one thing in phase 2 for dry eye. It is promising, but dry eye is a very hard condition to have a drug for. So again, we're going to see if we can get some good results, then we can maybe talk about those. So the summary says the company is definitely down but not out. However, rejecting all the buying offers look pretty stupid right now. And that is really why I came in, because all of a sudden it looks like a bidding war. The company, I think, would have easily doubled, but the board of directors said no. They didn't want to even negotiate anything, which now looks really, really dumb. So the company does have the cash to continue operations for the foreseeable future. However, I don't really see any cash cows in the pipeline at the moment. However, more data will be coming in 2025, and then we can reevaluate the company as a whole. So when I'm looking at it, there's, other than dry eye, everything that they have is for something that's going to be in a crowded market. So what we really want is something that's going to be unique, that's only either the first to come out, or uh, only has a small amount of competition. But again, I think with their cash reserve, the company's fine at the moment. You could definitely ride out the storm and see kind of what transpires next, and then you can go from there. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.